Reverend, there when I left. You're right. Pastor was there when I left. You're right. Preacher, there when I left. You're right. The elder was there when I left. You're right. Hey, Nolan Wells. Hey, Nolan Wells.
Just into the Don Lemon Show newsroom, we have a new development on the Nolan Wells case. Mississippi officials have released the CETO emergency call connected to Nolan's disappearance. Listen.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
And is everybody on board in good health otherwise?
Yeah, everybody's
How
on
many?
board.
All right. Do you need the United States Coast Guard?
No, we do not need that.
Now listen closely. In the call, a teenager says everyone on board is accounted for, even though the boat is sinking. But Nolan Wells never made it home, and that's why this recording is significant. It becomes another piece of the timeline investigators will have to examine alongside everything else that's already been made public. Now, nearly a month later, Nolan's death remains unexplained. The independent autopsy didn't provide a definitive answer, and this recording doesn't answer the central question either. What happened to Nolan Wells? We're going to continue following the facts, asking questions, and reporting new developments as they happen.
This Nolan Wells case is taking a lot of different twists and turns. I wanted to get your thoughts on it. What do you think about it thus far?
Well, the phone has been erased and the parents have had to ping it. There's been no clear investigation. I think it reeks of a cover-up, and so we want to get to the bottom of it. So I thank Attorney Crump for being involved. I thank Kaepernick family. I thank people that want to get to the justice. And now the truth is coming out slowly, but the truth is coming out. There is a pattern of deception and denial and cover-up.
You think there's a cover-up. So who are you pointing the finger at?
Well, I first start with the legal authorities. They should do a thorough investigation. That the phone was separated from the child. Body was returned to an alternate location. That the messages have been erased. That the family had to independently retrieve the phone. These are all things that the sheriff should have done. And so I would like to see the law enforcement do its job and give the parents, the family, justice and closure.
You know, I spoke with Jasmine Crockett about this a few days ago, and she feels like race is definitely playing a role in this investigation, or just in this case, I should say. What do you think?
Well, if you talk about 5 or 7 young white guys and one African-American child, they're out swimming, he ends up dead, and it seems to have been a bit of a scuffle or some altercation, I'm not quite sure. And then everyone leaves their one friend behind who just happens to be black. Well, this is also, as we speak today, the anniversary, the date of Emmett Till's birth. And so I come from Chicago, and that was a Mississippi case, so history is repeating itself again.
History is repeating itself. So you're comparing the Nolan Wells case to the Emmett Till case?
Well, I'm just saying that there's a similarity, that there's a chord, there's a melody that comes from injustice, that the people that killed Emmett Till, they knew who did it, and they never were prosecuted. The young people that were around Mr. Wells, they know something, and they've never been thoroughly interrogated.
Well, it is an ongoing investigation. I mean, we still have some way to go. How do you think this is all going to shake out?
Well, I want the truth to come forward. I want the young people to say what they know. I see they're lawyered up. They're behind their family members that have judges. They've had days and weeks to corroborate stories. And so we need an independent investigation.
The phones
have been erased. The pictures have been deleted. The family had to independently retrieve the voice messages themselves. The state has not lifted a finger then or now with Emmett Till or with Wells to get to the murder of a young black child.
Who does an independent investigation? You're saying the sheriff's department isn't enough. So then who handles it?
Well, like we've seen before, this is where the federal judiciary is supposed to come in. But there's been
feds.
Oh, absolutely. Okay. I mean, it's a murder. This Mr. Wells had a right to be alive. He has a right to life, and that's been taken from him. So who did it? And if the local judiciary fails you, then this is where the federal government is supposed to supersede and intervene. So I would like to see a federal investigation.
Okay, quick update on the Nolan Wells case. We know the audio has been released, and now we know, because we've already seen TMZ do this, that news outlets, white influencers, media platforms are going to try to twist the narrative. They're going to try to twist the story. They're going to try to change it. Okay? Be ready. Be prepared, because this is what the system does. This is what white people do. This is what they're trying to protect. These boys trying to change it into a whole new story, saying they were drinking, they didn't know, they were scared, they were in a state of fear, and they're going to just try to change it. They're going to try to completely twist the narrative. So be prepared. So we have to keep speaking the truth. We have to keep speaking up for Nolan. We have to keep bringing the energy, the frequency, the prayers, the connection out to Nolan, to his family, because this is what the system does. They're going to try to rewrite the story. And we've seen this so many times. They're going to try to protect these boys. They've been doing it since the beginning. They've been trying to cover this up since the beginning. They're going to try to put any type of emotion to make you feel a way that these kids did not have any of those intentions. They were scared. They were fearful. No. Trust the energy. Trust your intuition. We know what happened. We know. So keep speaking Nolan's name. Keep seeking for answers. Keep spreading this energy. Keep speaking up, because this is what they try to do. They keep trying to cover it up. And the media, especially the media, shame on them, because they do this all the time.
It's kind of like what you palm ham individuals do, doesn't it? You know, I mean, you guys are the only ones that when a person of color is accused of something, you guys automatically find them guilty and find every wrong in them, even though you don't know them. I think it's just so hypocritical how you guys come and leave me these stupid asinine comments as though if you really did something. Because I also say this, when the black community does come together, it's not for the span of those thugs, we're trying to get justice for Nolan. But when we do come together, it bothers y'all. It eats up all that devilish spirit up inside of y'all. Isn't that funny? Y'all are so hypocritical. But before you point and look at somebody else, you should look at yourself in the mirror, because it starts with you first. All that hate in your heart, y'all hate when we come together. And we don't have to know Nolan, but Nolan deserves justice. His parents deserve justice. Hilarious.
I don't believe he drowned. I believe he was killed. But I'm a judge that has to weigh all the evidence. Preliminarily, that's what I see. You don't leave your friend on an island, seeing that he has left his phone, and not at least go back. You came there with him. You left him there, you say, because he wanted to stay. But you notice that he's left his phone. How was he going to get home in the first place? Wouldn't he need his phone in order to call his transportation? Or they should have known some of that. He would have said, I'm going to get home by such and such way. Hey man, I'm not coming. Y'all go ahead. I got a young lady. Okay, man. Is she going to bring you home? How you going to get home? You don't ask any of those questions? So you must have asked those questions. If you didn't, that's more evidence that I believe contributed to the reasonable suspicion. So I'm with the prosecutor. How about that so far? So you won't have to say that the judge is making conclusions without getting the evidence. The prosecutor has found enough evidence to create a reasonable suspicion that a crime occurred. And now they're going to interview everybody and come up with some answers on whether to indict. So I'm there with the prosecutor so far. Take it to the grand jury. Now I have to wait until what the grand jury comes back with before I support any charge or any lack of charges.
So you feel like it was foul play?
Yes. It doesn't make sense. And it creates a presumption. When you don't have an explanation and someone ends up dead and you hear contradictory or stories that really aren't credible because they make no sense, and you hear the same story from three people, who knows? They may have told 2 or 3 different stories. We don't know. We will know when that grand jury comes back. So that's the case in that scenario.
Some moments are simply too painful for politics. I'm like, guys, this is not the time. When a young life is cut short, the conversation should not begin with defending institutions or choosing sides. It should begin with recognizing that a family has just experienced the kind of loss no parents should ever have to endure. Before anything else, may Nolan rest in peace. My prayers are with his family, his friends, and everyone else whose life he touched. No headline, no public debates, and no political arguments can replace the future that was taken from him. That's where my heart is today. Guys, please subscribe, let's continue watching, and then I'll be back with more commentary later. Full credit goes to the original creators of these videos. Thank you.
My heart, as a black mother, my heart goes out to the family of Nolan Wells. And the more that I read about this tragedy, I get angry. First, like, what happened to not leaving without all of the homies accounted for? You don't leave somebody behind in the club, let alone an island. Secondly, why did his mama have to call the police? Should not have the police been contacted by the friends when he was missing? I mean, what did they do when he did not come back to the boat? Wasn't that the time to call the police and wait for the police? As a black mother, it is just bringing up all kinds of fear and trauma. Our children are not safe in integrated communities. The murders of Cyrus Carmack Belton and Cohen Wiley lets us know that our babies are not even safe in our own communities. We're not safe in those communities because I can't help but to think about Tamala Hosford, who had a sleepover with football moms and mysteriously fell off the second floor balcony and nobody heard, saw, knew anything. But interestingly enough, those people that didn't hear, see, or know anything had connections to the local police. Kendrick Johnson mysteriously falling into mats and wrapping himself up and suffocating. Nobody saw, heard, or knew anything. Hell, nobody even knew how Kendrick's internal organs were missing. But it was an accident. And it just makes me sick that our babies' lives are not respected in life, and their bodies are not respected in death. The seeming collusion and relationships that come out in these mysterious instances lets me know that the arc of justice is not only long, it's a long shot. I am keeping the Wells family lifted in prayer, and I am also praying for swift, overwhelming justice.
This Nolan Wells case has been going on for weeks at this point, and we still don't have indictments handed down. We needed an independent autopsy. We need a follow-up from said independent autopsy because of things that were missing and being able to not prove definitively one way or the other what happened. We needed $100,000 in reward money offered for additional information. We needed an independent civilian sound engineer to clean up the audio from the call that the kids made on the boat the night that Nolan Wells went missing. And the only thing that I can think about is the fact that this is why it's so important for us to have community. And this is why Black resources are important. This is why Black professionals are important, because it is baffling to me that at this point in 2026, we have to go through all of these hoops to get justice. You have a coroner who, in several instances where there was very clearly foul play, she's returning no foul play. Like, it makes no sense to me. And it is just a constant reminder that Black resources are critical. Black professionals are needed. Black money is needed. Black wealth is needed. because it's just ridiculous. I'm so exhausted, but this is why I work as hard as I work, because it is absolutely necessary, even though it shouldn't be. We have a system that is supposed to be about justice, but for some reason, for Nolan Wells, it's taking the black community to go above and beyond to get said justice. And I'm exhausted at this point.
Check this out, guys. You know, the 911 call of the boat, you know, Nolan's friends, they said that the boat was sinking. You know, that 911 call, we're going to hear it. There's something in that 911 call that blew my mind away. He gave the coordinates, and I typed those coordinates into Google Earth, and it matches up to the same spot that the body was located. That's crazy. Like right where they said, because the lady said, "Are you on Horn Island?" He said, "Yeah." That was right where they found the body at. Right over there where he gave the coordinates at. Almost picture perfect. And here's another thing. We're going to listen to this. We're going to listen to the 911 call, but it appears to be something going on in the background. Somebody is upset in the background and it ain't got nothing to do with the boat. And you know what else they said? Check this out. You know what else they said? We don't need the Coast Guard. He said that in the call. So if your boat's sinking, why don't you need the Coast Guard? They could come save you real quick. He said we didn't need that. We don't need the Coast Guard. I believe they made that call as an alibi. Now, like I said, this is just my theory, but listen to this call and then we're going to come back.
Can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles? Hello?
What'd you say? Hey.
Yes, how far is the water coming up, sir?
It's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down now.
All right, well, let's get you going. Membership number or phone number listed on the account, sir?
I don't know the phone number. It's either Jerry Atkerson. I think it's Jerry Atkerson. Try that.
All right.
I know we have a membership, like guaranteed. I don't have the tag on
unless you
here.
have a membership number or anything, it's okay. I'll get you over to the captain. What's the best phone number to reach you at?
Reach me at 2.
All right. And is everybody on board in good health otherwise?
Yeah, everybody's
How
on
many?
board.
All right. Do you need the United States Coast Guard?
What?
Do you need the United States Coast Guard?
No, we do not need that.
All right. All right. Do you have your current GPS coordinates?
Let me go look.
If not, I can send you a text message.
North. All right, are you ready?
Yes, sir. I'm available.
North 30 degrees by 4672.
All right, 4672. All right, and you were breaking up a little bit. Can you just repeat it one more time to make sure I have it correct?
Sorry, look.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, what?
So you're breaking up. If you need assistance, do you have a VHF radio?
No, we do not have the VHF radio.
All right, well, let's try to get you going because you don't have good cell phone reception. Can you verify your coordinates one more time?
Okay, my coordinates are 30 degrees by 14.684 north, and then west by 88 degrees by 46.79.
Right, looks like you're on Horn Island, correct? Are you
yes,
on
we are
Horn
at
Island?
Horn Island. Yes.
All right, is the boat sinking or you have it aground?
We were sinking, yes.
Okay, so you heard that, right? I believe that was an alibi. There was a lot of commotion going on in the background. Okay? They right around that area where he gave the coordinates. It was right where they found the body at. It was picture perfect where they found the body at. And there was a lot of commotion going on in the background. You could hardly hear it because the phone was breaking up. Now, somebody said that they enhanced the audio and you could hear something about Nolan is dying. I don't know about that. I don't know like I said, I'm a little reluctant on sharing that audio, but you can go find that audio on TikTok. I don't want to share that because I can't authenticate it. But what I can do is I can say that audio is suspect. The reason why it's suspect is because all those kids lawyered up, man. You don't lawyer up if you ain't do nothing wrong, man. I mean, yeah, people lawyer up because of certain whatever reasons to protect themselves. But however, the way that interview went, he said he didn't need the Coast Guard. Why don't you need the Coast Guard? Your boat is sinking. That boat wasn't sinking. That was an alibi. That boat, if you look at the map, that boat was all over the place. That was the alibi, man. Nolan was, something happens. In my opinion, and this is just my working theory, something happened to him during that call. And they were working an alibi because people were panicking in the background. It was a panic going on. And they're going to get to the bottom of this case. But watch this. Remember, I told you this. The internet so-called sleuths, as they call us, we're going to solve this case. Because we damn sure solved the Young Dolph case. Somebody said straight drop killed Young Dolph, and it would turn out to be true. The internet sleuths are going to keep sleuthing, and they're going to solve this case, man. Okay, I believe that was an alibi. I have to say I believe because I wasn't there, but that's my working theory right now. That was an alibi, saying that something was wrong with the boat. They took off. And then that was another thing in his interview. He said that he last saw Nolan at 3 p.m. and the boat left at 4:30 p.m. He's already conflicting in his story. He's already conflicting the story. Something went terribly wrong during that call, but they had to do something as an alibi, I believe. That's just my opinion on it. What say you? Follow, like, all that good stuff. I'll see you on the next one.
So let's stay here for a moment. I've always believed that justice is one of the purest expressions of respect you can give to another human being. Not because it can erase pain, because it can't, but because it tells grieving families that their loved one's life mattered enough for the truth to be pursued without fear or favor. History doesn't disappear because people stop teaching it. When tragedies like this happen, public attention often shifts almost immediately toward arguments. People begin defending one side, attacking the other, and debating politics before the family has even had time to grieve. But behind every headline is an empty chair at the dinner table. Behind every news report is a mother, a father, a sibling, relatives, friends, trying to understand how life changed in a single moment. Sometimes we move so quickly into debate that we forget the human being at the center of the story. That young man's life deserves to be remembered for more than the circumstances surrounding his death. Now, this is the part people rarely talk about. Justice isn't about revenge. Justice isn't about satisfying social media. Justice is about making sure that every life is treated with equal dignity, regardless of who you are, where you are from, or whose actions are being questioned. If procedures were followed correctly, the truth should demonstrate that. If mistakes were made, they should be acknowledged. If wrongdoing occurred, there should be accountability. Those principles should not change depending on whose names appear in the headlines. Power often changes its language before it changes its intention. That's why transparency matters. Without transparency, trust begins to disappear. This is where history becomes important. For generations, many Black Americans have lived through moments where families waited years, decades, just for answers they believed they could have got sooner. The civil rights movement wasn't only about changing laws, it was about demanding equal justice under those laws. Families fought not simply because they wanted someone punished, but because they believed that every human life deserved fairness, dignity, and accountability. That lesson still matters today. Justice delayed has a way of becoming pain multiplied. Communities remember when answers never come. They remember when investigations feel incomplete. They remember when accountability appears selective. Those memories shape trust for generations. Actually, people often ask why communities lose confidence in institutions. Trust isn't built through speeches. Trust is built when people consistently see that truth matters more than power. Whether someone wears a uniform, holds public office, or occupies any position of authority, responsibility comes with accountability. Those two things should never be separated. Communities that build together rarely beg together. Strong institutions don't become weaker by admitting mistakes. They become stronger because people know honesty still has value. That's the foundation every society should strive for. At the end of the day, I don't think this story should become another political contest where everyone rushes to defend their preferred side. Remember, a young man lost his life. A family is grieving. Friends are mourning someone they expected to see tomorrow, someone they had plans with. Nothing about that should become ordinary. If this tragedy teaches us anything, it's that justice should never depend on influence, politics, or public pressure. The truth should matter because a human life mattered. That's the standard every family deserves. So, once again, may that young man rest in peace. May God comfort his loved ones during this incredibly difficult time, and may whatever investigation follows be guided by honesty, fairness, and the courage to pursue the truth wherever it leads, because justice isn't just about closing a case, it's about honoring a life that can never be replaced. However, guys, I'd genuinely like to hear your thoughts, because those are just my thoughts. How do we build institutions that earn public trust while ensuring every family receives the truth and accountability they deserve? Leave your thoughts in the comments. And if you value thoughtful conversations rooted in history, justice, and truth, subscribe and join me in the next one. Thank you.